G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to talk about why so many pros, you've probably seen them on Twitter, on their streams, saying the controller is now way stronger than mouse and keyboard, to the point that a few of them are even talking about switching to controller permanently. And of course, it's all revolving around double movement binds, because Epic has now taken another step forward to make double movement absolutely impossible on mouse and keyboard. And so many pros are trying to figure out ways to get it back when it looks like it's just gone forever. Also, we have some new information coming out about this season's event, which is going to happen at the end of this season in a few weeks time. Remember, this is the season that was potentially rumored by Donald Mustard himself to be the biggest event in Fortnite history, and it will forever change Fortnite. So this has people either really excited or really worried, but we have some new information coming out that I'm super excited to cover. You guys know the deal. If you like the video, please chuck a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We are less than 5,000 away from 100K. Remember, check me out every single day live at twitch.tv/Aussie Antics. Now let's just jump into the video. You've got a few pros who've been very vocal about complaining about double movement being taken out, one of which being Macwood. Macwood has made several tweets talking about how good double movement was, but how also a lot of people have been blaming Booger for why double movement got taken out, because if you haven't watched my previous video, you can go check it out, but Booger was probably the main person who popularized putting the tape on your keyboard to mimic double movement without actually having to learn how to use multiple keybinds, and people like Zate, people like Stretch really went in and started blaming Booger for why got taken out, when Macwood has a different take on this. He actually thinks that it was Zate and Stretch's fault and people who were constantly complaining about key remapping, because Macwood genuinely believes, and same as I kind of did when I talked about it in my video, that putting tape on your keyboard is nothing the same as using an actual program to make a macro, which is very against the rules, because Epic Games has nowhere in their rules that having something on your keyboard like cardboard, like tape, whatever it is against the rules, but they definitely have key remapping and macro use against the rules. So that was a different take on it already, but all you really need to know is double movement is now gone from mouse and keyboard. You cannot do it anymore. People have been asking, how is this true? All it means now is if you set two keybinds to move left and move right, they do nothing on mouse and keyboard. It's that simple. But this has now led to a whole bunch of pro players complaining about why controller still has double movement, because controller has always had double movement. It's just how it works based on 360 movement with the joystick. And my opinion is, you're never going to be able to make controller and mouse and keyboard exactly the same, but I think Epic should be pushing to make it as similar as possible. So when I say that, I think mouse and keyboard should get double movement by default, which is what pretty much it, you know, if you play in Save the World, that's how it works. So it is possible, but then obviously controller players are going to then complain saying that it shortens the skill gap, and I get that. But then I think controller should also be given single button reset. I talked about this a lot on my stream, just the ability that when you reset and edit, like it's almost like edit on release, but on the reset, you click the edit, you release the edit button, and the wall resets. That could be really good way to even that playing field, so both mouse and keyboard and controller are being brought as close as possible. Because as much as you have pros like Bucky saying they're going to switch to controller permanently, practicing on stream on controller, even though I think he's joking, genuinely there is this new kind of rise of what we saw a few seasons ago, where anytime a controller player does something good, or they win something, or they win a fight, they instantly get flamed to get it taken away from them. And this is because a lot of pros are saying right now, the strongest thing in the game is movement and aim. If you have good movement and you have good aim, you're going to win your fights more than anything else. And that's what controller seems to have an advantage on right now. I would argue that aim assist is as balanced as it's ever been and as balanced as it will ever get. If anything, I think controller aim assist at range should actually be buffed a little bit and made a little bit stronger. And then maybe, I don't play on controller, so it's hard for me to say, but it does seem like shotgun pumps do hit a little bit harder on controller. It's a lot easier to get consistent 200 pumps, but overall, I don't think controller's in a place like it was a couple seasons ago, where we should be saying that it needs to be nerfed and any controller player who does anything doesn't deserve it. If you guys didn't know, this season is set to end on November 30th, so as the time of me recording this, that's only in a few weeks' time, so it's looking like this end of season event is going to be ridiculous. A lot of people keep talking about this quote from Donald Mustard saying that it's going to be the biggest event in Fortnite history and it's going to change Fortnite forever. I need to say that I've done a bunch of research because I thought this quote was directly from Donald Mustard in an interview that's public. It's not. It came at the hands of a leaker who apparently had access to a Zoom call with Jeff Keighley, so I don't actually know how valid that is, but it's a Marvel season, and I'm thinking if they're going to do anything ridiculous, it's going to be this end of season event. So what do we know about it? What can we actually expect? Well, it looks like it's going to be Galactus themed. Everybody knows that. Galactus was in the opening trailer. We saw him very clearly. If you look off to the west of the map right now, up into the sky, you will see Galactus getting closer and closer. But recently, we have now had a leak from Hypex, who is honestly one of the main leakers that I actually trust, who's leaked a picture of what looks like the countdown that we're gonna get for the Galactus event. So it looks like the countdown should start usually about a week or 2 weeks out from the actual event. But if this event was to be the biggest in Fortnite history as people are expecting, bigger potentially than the Travis Scott event, like that would be ridiculous. And you have to remember, Fortnite did change the game's engine, so the actual core of the game, what the game runs on, they changed that back a few seasons ago to facilitate these giant events like Travis Scott, and we've really only had Travis Scott since then. So this event could be actually massive for that reason as well, which could see a huge surge back to the game of players. We also had Fortnite announce today they're partnering with Disney Plus, which I don't think is going to affect the game at all. People are saying we're going to get a Baby Yoda back bling. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Disney owns Marvel, so it's not a huge leap that we now have a Marvel collaboration as well as Disney. But all I want to talk about was the money involved in this. How much money Fortnite must be bringing in from this is only so good for the longevity of this game. So when you think about Fortnite being a free-to-play game and then them surviving off skins, back in the day we had these, $100 million of tournaments, all these crazy stuff going on because the player base was bigger. More people were spending money on the game, so Epic had more money to throw around. Now with these massive sponsorships though, it shows that big companies are still very invested in Fortnite and know it's one of the biggest games ever, which is going to keep it healthier and keep it lasting so much longer. Now, what do we have to look forward to competitively? Because as you guys know, at the end of the official broadcast, no game mode was announced. And I know what you're going to ask. Yes, I am a commentator for Epic Games. If you don't know, I commentate all their NA East tournaments on the official broadcast. I do not know what the game mode is. I expected that we were not going to get a tournament until after Christmas if it got this late. So obviously December is a crazy time of year for everybody, companies included. I did not expect an FNCS to start during December. And now that we're in early November, I don't think we're going to get an FNCS, but a lot of people are expecting we get a Winter Royale. We've got Duos Arena, DreamHack is going back to Duos, Winter Royale, Duos, like it's honestly perfect timing if they were going to keep that tradition going. And then it looks like we might be getting hopefully some third-party tournaments, maybe some more cash cups, but right now it looks like we might be going into a bit of a dry spell competitively, which is a little bit sad. Obviously myself covering competitive news, I would love more tournaments, but I still think there's some exciting stuff coming up. The only thing right now is a lot of the third-party tournaments, they're fun tournaments. We have Twitch Rivals right now, which is going on as I film this. I'm not watching it because it's Marvel LTM. I'm really sick of watching Marvel LTM. Then you have the Lockie Cup, which is awesome. It's so good for Lachlan. It's so fun, but again, it's a casual tournament. It's a pickaxe-only tournament, which suits what Lockie's going for. Casuals will love it. It'll be super fun. I don't want this to sound like I'm flaming Lachlan or anyone like that, but you've also got the Ghost Rider Cup. It's LTM. You have the Daredevil Cup. It's LTM. We're just, all the major tournaments right now and the third-party tournaments look like they're going to be Marvel themed and LTM. So hopefully we get some kind of competitive tournaments like a Winter Royale, some new cash cups like the Aqua Nyrox Cup. Just something like that would be so awesome before the end of the year, because I really don't want to go 2 months without any major competitive tournaments. Alright guys, that does it for another video. I hope you like this kind of news video. It's obviously not just competitive focused, but I just wanted to cover some of the major things going on in the Fortnite scene. Every single time a big topic comes up, you guys always leave me a comment in the next video. Hey man, why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you covering this? I've always tried to keep it more just really competitive focused, but if you guys like these kind of news videos, please chuck a like on the video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're enjoying them. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. We are so close to 100K, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. video, and I'll see you in the next one.